Hi guys, welcome to earnings season. I'm Randy at RT Row on Twitter, Randy Row in real life.
And I'm Danai at Danai on Twitter. Danai Paul in real life, since we're sending like that this week.
Yeah, right. That's me trying not to stumble and not to have to re-record. And this week, guys, we're continuing our review of the market. So we stopped last week at CPJ,
PJ, yes.
and we're going to pick up with the next one in line, which is coming to me in a second. Dolphin Cove. But before that, anything interesting happened since the last time, Danai?
Interesting with Dolphin Cove.
Maybe
Specifically.
I'll try. No, not just in terms of the market because it
Oh,
has been a little exciting. Oh, sorry. Let me start and not forget this. And big up. Oh, I cannot get the young lady's name around.
okay, you know that. You know that.
If you think you tad, I'm quite tad, but I'd rather err on the side of caution and ensure that I get everybody's name right because that works best. And
Agreed.
Shay, big up Shay, big
Who
up
shame
Shay.
you?
Who Shay? Yes. uh, young investor who has been doing some serious things out there, and she actually corrected me. I helped correct my view of 1834, not 1834. Sorry, 138 student living. Yeah, it was just not that we were off, but she added more clarity. I want to get it right. She's saying that hmm, trying to look for what it was that she told me. I know we had a conversation about it, but I can't remember. But I got some clarification on it, and I think clarification was around the fact that I think maybe some of the people staying there did get some um, refunds,
And
or
there's a news article
oh yeah, there was. What did it
to
say?
say that they're thinking to pay out some money.
They're thinking to pay out some money.
Pay out money that's already refund money that's already collected.
Hmm. Who that? Yui or 138 student living?
138.
You have the article.
Here it is. Pick up the loop. Yeah. With
So funny. Loop has survived long enough to start to find a new niche, not niche, but a new set of usefulness. They've stuck around until things have swung their way.
it's funny,
I find
loop thing there. I find loop to be much more reliable with the financial reporting news nowadays. And
yeah,
they read on time. A lot of stuff.
yeah, yeah. Big them up for that. Yeah, I suspect it's because a lot of the things that Loop gets, and I don't know for sure, I'm assuming here, but I think a lot of the things that Loop gets may come from companies, or might be press releases or cleared with companies. So it might be more accurate because somebody in the company wrote it or contributed the numbers or whatever.
I just sent you the link.
All right. Yeah, I have it up here.
Say 138 has
Um,
been faced with finding new sources of revenue for the remainder of academic year. Real estate firm may also decide to return some portion of living accommodation fees already paid. Yeah,
well, okay.
yeah.
Um, and they're giving the people the options, but they say they had hoped to keep their occupancy rate at over 90%. That's key, right? Because we know that I need to stop
That's
saying
when
that's key. I realized that from the last girl. I said that's key as part of my conversation. And it's sometimes I'm talking about key itself, and I say that's key. And I get confused. And sometimes people message me, DM me, asking me what I meant about key when I say that's key or something. Like, was that linked to key? Yeah, so let me be clearer. That is important, I think, because of the last thing that I know about the agreement was that they are guaranteed at least 90% occupancy by UE. So if it falls below that, as far as I know at least,
they
UE is
make
required to
pay them up
pay
to
the difference.
90%.
Yeah. But
But
I must say that I think that's what I was trying to share about, that there is the possibility that the agreement has since been changed.
why I
But I
said that.
don't know. Well, remember that there was some court business and then things were sorted out and they got a big payment.
Mm-hmm. And the payment
So
should continue into this year.
True, but I don't know if in the sorting out part of it's like, okay, we'll pay you this, and we're going to amend the agreement to say
Oh yeah.
what with yeah, it might have been. They said the best deal is one where both parties leave feeling like they've both been cheated. Yeah, and it might have been that. So it might have been you will pay, but them adjust it from 90 down to 70, or you know, you have to show that you did whatever to keep it up there. There's all sorts of things that could be in there, and we don't know until we know. I like to. I mean, we have to make assumptions, but I like also to
Be
have
clear.
evidence to clarify. Yeah.
I would love for them to clarify that.
Well, I believe that that agreement is material to the company. So if it were to change, I think they would have to state it in the
Yeah.
next audited.
Which is that we saw some of it in Prospectus times, right?
Which is again, repeat that.
We saw some of the agreement during the prospectus when
Yes.
they released. Yes.
Yeah. And the people at the last set of growers I've done would have heard that. At least some. I don't know if I said it in all of them, but some, because we touched on it a little bit. Um, and I think I find myself doing growers back to back at this point. And it's I'm not gonna complain. I should point out that, well, by the time people are hearing this, there should be a deal for Mother's Day, because Mother's Day is Sunday coming, so people hearing this before Mother's Day. So I should, yeah, come to grow, guys. You want a nice experience for you and mom. She's taught you a lot. You want to maybe learn something alongside her for a change. There's a great deal. Come to grow. Check the show notes for the code, or go to everymickle.com/store/grow. Stream, buy it, and enter the code Mom's Love. That's Mom's Love. You get a 20% discount. 20%. I want to give people a 20% discount. I mean, it's a tough time now. Why not? 20% discount. Mom's Love. So yeah, 138 student living.
Interesting thing in this though is that they're looking for ways to make more money. So they're, I know, as we were saying, after if school don't open back certain times, then it'll be problem crazy. And they're looking at assessing the option to store belongings.
Yeah, because a lot of people I think still have their
Yeah.
still have
So
their things there.
which is funny. So what the thought would be, oh, your things still here, so you have to pay to keep them here. Basically,
You think, is that how it works?
I'm not
Well,
sure.
I guess. I
If,
mean, if
that,
you
if
rent
that's
somewhere, I
business,
guess it's
if that's the business, then
wow.
exactly.
I never thought of that. I don't. The point is, I think they're giving back some money, and we'll put that article that you shared and in the show notes, so people can check the show notes and see it right now. It's a good article. I like that it has some input from the company. That is what I like. Just like I like that, they're getting, especially on the financial side of things, they're getting known for being on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that. There's something else I saw that was so interesting to me, but I think we're going to touch the company in this episode, so I will leave it till we get there. And it was also on Loop, so I guess Loop winning. Wait, that's what I wanted to mention. Anything else happen?
We saw the effect of the dividend thing on the financial stocks this week. Yes.
Yes. People started to fall, yeah. NCB, the great NCB,
Yes.
fell more. On Friday, on Friday, April 24th, when the notice came out, it closed at $151.07. And today, not today, I know a week later, because it's not today.
Mm-hmm.
A week later, Friday, it closed 141.98.
It's funny. I know people that I heard of. Well, we saw it trade at a minimum of 131 this week. So somebody got that 131, and it was good volumes too. Those trades.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I actually, it's so funny. I tweeted, something, a 7% drop, maybe roughly 6% drop in a week. That's a big drop for NCB, which means like a big drop for the market, because NCB influences the market. And you say, well, fell as low as 130, 131. Yeah, I think on the candlestick. Yeah, wow. That's on the same Monday. So it's a Monday right after
Yeah.
Monday right after somebody just jumped out.
So I'm gonna depend on that.
131. Damn. 131. I love 131. And it did I love 135 the day after that.
Mm-hmm.
Even Friday hit a low of 140. Yeah. And then in the middle of that they released the results, yeah. So the
Mm-hmm.
results came out. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I won't even touch that since we're going to at some point get to the ends.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk about them then. But I noticed how they worded their release, how they worded their thing. That was interesting to me.
But interestingly, JMB was holding on to hope this week. I saw a good amount of sales, but it looked like there was some resistance to a fall for JMB, a good amount of it. So like, if you saw the cues, people weren't really pushing into it heavily, and they weren't pushing past a point.
Ooh.
So look at all of last week for JMB, and you realize,
Yeah, it just keeps falling.
yeah, fall away. You can see where it kept pushing back up during
Hmm.
the days. So some somebody's holding on to hope.
I mean, hope springs eternal.
Yeah.
Hope springs eternal. JMB boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. For years, I've been saying how much Jamaica market love two things: profit
And it
and cash
is.
profit, because it can pay dividends. So them really love dividends. Love it gone to bed.
Uh-huh.
And then that's add to that the fact that everybody when them learn about investing, them hear dividend. Two things I say all the time. You learn dividends and diversification, the two D's. It's true. No man, you should diversify your everybody know you should have a really diversified portfolio. If you don't know nothing about stocks, you know the word diversification. And if you don't know nothing else, oh no, about this, buy Carreras, because you know they pay really great dividends. Consistent, which they do, right? And that's not bad advice, guys. This is not an advisory show. We're not investment advisors. We're not licensed investment advisors. This is not investment advice. Speak to a licensed investment advisor, all right? But I said all of that. You hear that all the time, diversify, dividends. Wow. I mean, I guess it's proven true here because, wow.
Dividend
I
gone
mean,
on,
JMB just
boy.
down, down,
People
down,
about
down, down. Boy. Close the week. JMB close the week at what?
33.54.
33.50. Oh, this thing APO'd for $38 a couple months ago, And the APO price was lower at the time than the trading price.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that, everybody and them cousin, I get asked all the time now, every single girl, you think APO, what is the best thing you should do? Should I sell all my shares and buy into APO? Oh God, it's come to grow and get the answer to that. um, yeah, J may be something funny, but yeah, I want to clear up the 138 student living thing. So it's a very interesting situation for them going forward, but it's going to be a very interesting situation for everybody, I think, on the market. Really. But luckily, I think they're equal to the task.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, Dolphin Cove, you want to take it or you want me to take it?
I mean, sure, I'll take it. Dolphin Cove, John Star. Rough on them still. They depend heavily on tourism. A lot of Jamaicans just not go there. So, and even if Jamaicans were going there, then guess what? Corona still mash up the place. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they it's a tourist destination. You have a lot of we go and swim in the dolphins. That's the fun part,
Mhm.
basically. A sea, Jamaica's version of SeaWorld. And there's nobody flying in right now, and nobody not traveling to the north
Nah,
coast to that. So
tourism down.
their revenue is getting a hit.
Yep. Matter of fact, today's Buffett moment. Buffett moved his money out of all the airlines.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, outside of it being a huge, let's talk about Buffett's stock moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's telling.
Mm-hmm.
It says that Warren Buffett no longer thinks that there is heavy profits to come from the airline industry over the next few years. Um, but that might not be a bad thing. It might mean that they're going to be burning cash in order to get people back into the flying mode. All right. So you might actually be really great deals coming up. And I think social media could propel a lot of that when, people are like, yo, you can go to
Italy.
Jamaica or, yeah, I was going to Italy, but yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the real test, right? When tourism in Italy rises, that's how you know the world is back where it was.
Hmm.
That's a good indicator. There's some of those unorthodox macro indicators that I'll use when Italy's reporting increase in tourism. Then you know that things truly are on the up and up. And we Jamaica need to beat them. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough road. It's going to be a very tough road. It's going to be a tough couple of months or longer. So Dolphin Cove, Dolphin Cove's earnings may why
It's funny. It's right after CPJ, so in our talk, so John Star, and we have
right?
our next one coming up that's close to that home.
True. Well, let me be more analytical. Let me add some structure around the anecdotal that I'm saying. I think 10% of Jamaica's tourism, either 10 or 20%. I think it's 10 though. I think 10% of Jamaica's tourism is internal. So Jamaicans going.
Mm-hmm. And not even
Which
them going right
exactly.
now.
No, I mean that's at the best of times.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously that means when things kind of low. That means 90% of the income is not from here. And if tourism dead, and it's a wicked set of months for some of these companies. I think what's instructive and going to be instructive if you want to predict the movement in Dolphin Cove is to look at what that agreement says from the last notice that they put out about the US dollars that they get for the agreement around the building of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe I'm just working on it, not even going to bother to bring it up. I'll call that homework for people. But I believe that Dolphin Cove, I believe that I think it gets some money if it doesn't happen. So, like, if the hotel isn't built by X amount of time, they're guaranteed X amount of US dollars,
Mm-hmm.
which
Oh,
might be an amazing thing to happen if, like, they're like, yo, it does not make sense to build a hotel in Jamaica right now.
mm-hmm. So
And
yeah.
Dolphin goes like, well, I mean, you have this agreement.
So I'll give
That's
him
it.
money
And
prediction.
right now, the US dollar rate spiking, and it might spike a little more.
Mm-hmm. Boy.
So it's, I think, a bunch of factors that could actually lead to an earnings surprise for Dolphin Cove. Or if you want to even go deeper, to go how we look at the market, at least how I look at the market, I know you do the same thing that I that they may they may actually have like a drop in price because you're like, this doesn't make sense. Tourism is taking a hit, blah blah blah. Right? The usual
Mm-hmm.
herd reaction, and it drops, and then it
Yeah.
might get oversold, and it might go
Uh-huh.
all the way down, and then you see it all the way down, and you hear them say, we have decided to kick in the agreement that we have with this hotel, whatever, and so we're going to get, like, 100,000, is 100,000 US or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be a heavy bit of earnings hitting their books in US dollars at a time when the rate might be even higher. And
Mm-hmm.
then they're going to, although I don't know if they report in Jamaican dollars or US dollars, we can check that also. People should check that if they care. But whatever it is cash coming in, it could allow them to pivot, or make some alternate investments, put some money somewhere else that it might be making money right now
Mm-hmm.
at a time where tourism isn't working,
Yeah.
or maybe
I would
push
hope
a
so, but
lot of things.
I,
Yeah,
I,
but
I,
those are the
I,
things
I keep
that future profit is made out of, and speculating future profit is made out of, and then you look to see if it could happen. But you
mm-hmm.
don't sound confident. You're saying you feel something.
No, as in I've said before, property you only my how I feel about the thinking around some stuff like that. I don't often see people going in that direction. So I don't often go might just get the money and say, well, this will hold our operations for X period of time and make it go and do it thing. The boring play, quote unquote.
Mm.
Make the money
How
just
does
hold
those
them out
guys usually
until
boring? Are they usually boring?
who Dolphins go?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't necessarily do much. The-
Yeah, but I don't think the people. Oh, you know what? No. The Mexicans control it now, no?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like the dolphin people in the region. So if they're getting cash, they may actually they're getting cash, they may actually choose to repatriate it
Yeah, I
because
was going to say that it might just be a dividend payment.
right. So it might be
It
so
might be,
that's
which might be a good
definitely
thing. Yeah, which might be a
right.
good
It might
thing
be a
based on the
special
price they get it
dividend.
for. Yeah.
Exactly. So in that situation, being oversold might be really, really good.
Mm-hmm. The dividend yield might look very nice.
Yeah. And that's so funny because there's no model you can run that would tell you that other than a common sense model.
You know that would go. Remember last D?
Yeah.
Uh,
Looking on the material thing that they they sent out, material disclosure of material information. Effective March 3rd, a subsidiary, Dolphin Cove Limited, granted to Reserve Investments Limited an option for 1 year renewable for a further period of 1 year to purchase on terms the property on which the marine park at Lucy is located for the purpose of constructing a hotel thereon. The option money is 100,000 US. That's where I got that 100,000 from. And a further sum of 100,000 will be payable if the option period is extended for a further year. Dolphin Cove Limited states that the company has retained the right to continue to operate its marine park in the hotel and would be adequately compensated should the park at Lucy need to be closed for any reason period during the construction in the event the option is exercised.
mm-hmm.
Dolphin Cove added that the market will be kept abreast of any additional developments. Yeah. Wow. So that means that they already got the money.
I would think so. What?
Mm-hmm.
100,000.
They get 100,000. I mean, option money here speaks to um, the money that they get to, I think, have the right to cancel it. I think
Mm-hmm.
during the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and every year that they want to extend it, they have to pay another 100,000.
Yeah.
So I think it might actually. I mean, if you decide that this is also another good, this is also another good indicator. Yeah, one of them unorthodox earnings season indicators, because if these guys go ahead and build this hotel, no, it says that they are confident in something,
Mm-hmm.
or
But
maybe
then
they could be.
confidence might be in the wrong place, to be honest.
Well, that would require going deeper to see who Reserve Investments Limited is, right? And that might be
And
a
the whole thing they're actually
hidden
working out
company.
for them. And how Corona going to affect them. So
Well,
building hotels and then what?
well, I think, I think, how do I say this? The, you, well, that's why it's an indicator. Meaning, if somebody's versed in hotel business and truly has confidence in it and says, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and build this hotel in Jamaica right now during the dip," it might be them saying best to build during the dip so that you benefit during the rise, right? Because by the time we done build it, the market has recovered. Or on the flip side, if you're expecting some greater hits, you might say, "I am not spending any cash right now because a hotel is going to cost more than 100,000 US to build. So here what? Make them keep them 100 grand US and we cancel a
Mm-hmm.
contract. If that contract is cancelled, on the one hand, Dolphin Coves get a nice little bit of money, but it too tells me that okay, the guys who are the experts in the hotel business are scared.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. So that's how you can benefit from an indicator. Like
Agreed.
yeah,
But
it's like how often do you get to benefit from a red flag?
I'm just saying that I'm not really confident in all right now for them because looking at the revenue they made last year, well, December 2018 was 14 mil
Mm-hmm.
overall US.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? Yeah, so
Versus what?
versus how much, what will 100,000 add to that really?
No, man, not revenue. What was the profit? Because this is straight profit.
Or profit?
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
2
This
mil.
100,000 is just money given to you because somebody has cancelled that deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be straight profit. So what was the profit?
2 mil.
Ooh,
Yeah, 2.3.
ooh. Did they do a dividend payment? What was it? The total dividend?
Dividend paid is our dividend in February 2020. They pay dividends more than once per year.
Quarterly or semi-annually?
Checking.
The last one that declared yourself your Q1 was February 24th, and it was a dividend of 30
30
cents
cents.
with the ex-dividend date of March 12th. Paid on March 30th. So it's paid out. What does 30 cents mean for them? 30 cents. I when they say 30 cents here, did they mean 30 US cents?
I was going to ask.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's a lot of digging. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just do some inference from this one because we do have to go through a lot. But I think, yeah, I think Dolphin Cove is in a dicey place, and for the less risk averse among us who are willing to do the digging that you hear us doing and more, because we're not going through all of it, is for them it might be instructive to dig properly, talk to the advisor, and look at and look at if there could be. I, I don't even know what you call that. What do we call that? If I mean, it's not really an earning surprise, right? But if it's oversold,
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be. It might actually be 30 US cents. A share price.
No, not thinking that
Right.
anymore. No,
You're
because
not
look at the
thinking that?
thing there. The share price is $7.22 Jamaican dollars, right?
Is
30
it
US
Jamaican dollar?
cents. Yeah,
You sure?
yeah.
Um, why did I think that Dolphin Cove traded in US dollars?
Because they're reporting US. Probably right.
Yeah.
But yeah, $7.22 at 30 US cents is $42 at 140. There's no way people getting people keep that price at $7 when they can buy it at 42. When they get a dividend at 42. If you get me.
Well, I mean, the dividend
You're right.
paid already, so all of this is post dividend.
Yeah, but look at the price. No,
722.
but
Yeah,
yeah, as in
but it's
the
falling
Dolphin.
from 1138
Yeah,
before the X date.
yeah. So I'm not seeing where 40. You hear $42 and it do right. 42. You pay $11 per share and you get a dividend of $42 per share and you keep it at $11. I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry, you mean the US? Yeah. No, it's Jamaican. I'm with you.
Yeah,
So
yeah, man.
that's what you're saying. That is 30 cents Jamaican.
Yeah,
It's 30 flat. I just gonna do
yeah.
the math.
30, 30, 30, 30 flat Jamaican. Yeah. What do you mean?
I just multiply into the total dividend amount was.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I want to see how much that 100. I trying to find a way that it might be great for them. So I want to see how. Oh, okay, this is screwing up. It is 117 million point seven. 117.7 million Jamaican dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And 100,000
I thought 10
is,
mil, 14 mil Jamaican.
yeah, drop in the bucket.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep. Sticky.
That's going to put in. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to. I
The
think it
voice
is
of
nice.
the voice edit.
Yeah,
Or else.
the Ghanaian music when the
Oh,
pallbearers. Oh Lord, things looking sticky for them. All right, so that's the Dolphin Cove report.
yeah.
Rough. Rough times. I shouldn't laugh because there might be a whole heap more to come.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what else we do? We use the tough times.
Yep.
Uh, next up is
Very man.
what's the next? Derryman Trading Limited DTL.
David Stock.
Derek Cottrells. David Stock. Oh God, you're funny. You're funny. Yeah, I guess because David does seem to spend a lot of time looking at it. DTL has has for the year fallen from $2.56 per share to $2.01 per share. Right.
Resilience.
Again?
Resilience.
Yeah.
That's not a big drop at all.
Right.
Well, it's
And
big relative to $2, $2.50 something. That thing there. That's a fifth of their price. So 20% down.
yeah,
But
yeah,
still, compared to everything else, well, a lot of other things, I say that.
yeah, yeah.
But
Indeed.
they had a lower 140.
I love 140.
Yeah, so somebody made some money since then.
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
But it
you're
looked like
right.
it was a big trade.
There, it has actually had some big enough volumes. That's the thing, I was thinking maybe it hasn't traded much, but it's pretty liquid.
Yes, that's, two specific days are millions of shares traded. But the regular days like 60 odd thousand anything there. See 200,000, 990,000. Yeah, so yes, pretty liquid, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it might not be a lot of trades, but it trades.
Mm-hmm. Trades.
Um, on Friday it was 3 trades and 99,000 units,
Mm-hmm.
99,326. That that's I can't knock it. I can't
Yeah.
knock them.
And if you look at things,
But
look at the actual company.
yes, which is what I was going to do now. And this is probably one of our first real Corona companies because
Oh yes.
yeah, because they're in distribution of food, right? And poor people food too.
We touched on a part of the group's CFF earlier.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, because they are majority owner of CFF.
Mm-hmm.
The
So I know
CFF is a subsidiary.
subsidiary. So now we're at the rest of the people then. So
You
Derry
change
man.
your voice again. You change your voice while ago, and then all of the girl in my message me ask me why you edit that voice and don't make him real voice come out. Whatever you do while ago, speak like that again, please. Let's keep the mic wherever you kept it a while ago because I heard it very clearly a while ago.
I don't know.
I,
Better? That's good.
I think so. Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
All right,
That's
cool.
perfect.
But yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, the rest of the group, detail itself, the actual thing there, the main company parent, are in distribution of food, and they own a supermarket, Sampars, which had a
Mhm.
report saying that they now have thing there. They have an uptick in online sales because remember they were doing the online thing. But I'm not,
For a
I'm,
long time.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
what's
man.
going. Jamaicans resistance stuff like that.
But they were
So
smart. I think what it is, they start they focus on having people overseas. 'Cause people overseas can buy groceries for
for them family, yeah, they were talking
yeah
about
for
that.
family in
So you don't
Jamaica.
have to
Yeah,
send, cut out grace. You don't have to send remittances. You just buy them groceries. Makes sense.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and they actually
But
distribute for thing there. They are a distributor. They bring soda and them thing there to the supermarkets and stuff.
mhm.
And
But I never.
woodcats
And woodcats is what woodcats do? Pallets.
pallets, yeah.
Hmm.
Which I don't think I don't. I'm not expecting a supreme loss of business for woodcats. To be honest, they should be fine.
But if I think the rationale behind them purchasing woodcats was that they use
Vertical,
woodcats so
yeah.
heavily. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
they're owning the vertical and he's trying to increase his net profit margin because he's
Yeah.
not, at least
It's
for us, he'd be notorious for having razor
razor
thin
thin.
margin.
His margins
And
are in 1%
yeah,
at one point.
right. I know him build up him group enough to less than 1%.
Yeah.
I think his net profit margin is less than 1%.
Mm-hmm. John.
But build up him group now to a point where I think he's slowly increasing it, and
Mm-hmm.
I suspect a good distributor might be able to, not might be able to, is in a position over the next few months, especially to really capitalize on
Yep.
on on the distribution of cheap and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you some results from them?
Results.
Their annual was December 31st.
Yeah.
I mean, they have something for March 31st, but I think they have the Corona delay.
I see the revised.
Yeah, the
David.
revised one. David's handiwork. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, go ahead.
I was saying they're up. We'll continue.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at that, saying the revenue is up and their profit is up,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they're handling operations and should be not a little bit better, a lot better. The asset base is higher. Am I correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reserves strong, and I think it's good that they're looking like this because you're going to need to be very healthy, especially as a distributor to survive. So that's the benefit of being able to work from razor thin margins. You're very efficient with you're
Yeah. You
forced to
have
be
to
very efficient with
exactly.
your
That was their
yeah
focus from before all of this. So.
yeah.
And I think I would think that the thing there, the online sales might be more efficient for them because they might have stock in the back that they don't put out on the shelves, so they don't use up shelf space, and you get me. So not spending as much on putting stuff on the front if they sell stuff online. So that might be better for them in some cases. So we might actually see good from detail.
uh yeah. But it's so funny. Almost every company has to be reconsidered. Like, what is their performance? How them stay,
Uh-huh.
and then uh what is their performance? How them stay, and then can they survive? What's going to happen to them? I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 second for me,
All
Daniel.
right.
God. Oh, guys, I'll link you when I'm done recording. All right, I am still recording. I'll show it to you in a second. Sorry, yeah, I'm supposed to have a brethren link up, a brethren Zoom link up. Supposed to drink at chill. I
I can't get with that.
I think I couldn't either, but
My friends wanted
having been in
a
the
Zoom
house,
brunch, but I'm not about it.
I don't know about a Zoom brunch. This
The same thing,
was
brother.
no, but here the thing. I'm gonna get food and come back and we talk and eat. What I'm gonna at Brethren Zoom link up is I'm gonna sit in this chair I'm always sitting in. I'm gonna have some scotch and we're all gonna talk crap and listen music or whatever, which I would
Versus
have
drink
been
and
doing
food, which
anyway.
is brunch. So
Yeah,
just
well,
bring food into it.
I'm not bringing it. Wait, there, you have to pay for it?
No, you make your own shit, bro. Pancakes.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'll make my own whiskey. Oh boy. Where were we?
Yeah. The funny thing about this, you have to reconsider every company, how they will be
Yeah,
affected and how they perform.
yes, and how they will perform in the coming crisis. Is that crisis? I mean, I think
Yes,
it's a crisis. But
start
I
already.
don't want. Yeah, I don't want to jump ahead. I said to you before we started recording that I am so worried
Mm-hmm.
about just everything, and I don't hear anything being said yet. But I understand obviously the government have a prep its response, and but I would I don't know if it's me just always over eager, or maybe it has been happening and I haven't seen it. But like a realistic layman's expectation and response to what's about to come,
Mm-hmm.
because tourism is dead and has been dead for a month and a half now and will be dead for a little longer. Tourism is about a little over 30% of every dollar that Jamaica makes.
Mm-hmm.
So out
Rough.
of every $10 Jamaica makes, three of it come from tourism. 10 of it, a little over 10 comes directly from tourism, and another 20 another 20 odd comes from add-on industries. I don't know if CPJ would count. So if like CPJ would be a add-on, or if
Or direct. Oh,
CPJ would
yeah,
be
yeah.
direct. So if it's not, and I could be wrong here, but if it's not, it would be that like the hotel is the direct tourism industry, and then
Mm-hmm.
CPJ would then be the knock on.
Yeah.
Or if not, if CPJ is the direct, then like the auditors for CPJ, the people who audit CPJ books,
Mm-hmm.
is not on.
Yeah.
It's going to be a thunderclap through the industry, through the all industries, I think, but more
Jamaica gonna feel
specific, yeah, tourism and BPOs.
it. Mm-hmm. I think that Dimitri was just mentioning that he mentioned today.
Dimitri at U10JM.
Yeah, he remembers a conference some time back. A conference, I think, where he said Pando he was talking about Jamaicans should look at shouldn't companies shouldn't look at Jamaica as just a 2.7 million people. You have to also look at 4 million tourists that travel through here as part of it. So he was
Exactly.
at the time he was looking at it as, hey, you can make more money from. You can't just look at Jamaica as a money making opportunity from just 2.7 mil. It's if added tourism. But no, the context, well, for all purposes, the context would be we're losing 4 million people and being only left with the 2.7 to make money from because of all this right now. So, at least exporting, to be honest, but you get what I'm saying. Their domestic sales of things, tourism was buffering that up. Now, we lost a lot of that.
Yep. It's it's something that we're really going to have to think about, and people, I would like if there was a real conversation happening, and like some open, just clear talk to people, like, yo, things going to get rough.
Mm-hmm.
Right? BPO used to employ how many people? 40,000, I think. Them are 400,000.
Yeah.
Can't be 400.
No.
Enough, but I don't think it's 400,000. But my God, I suppose it is 400,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, BPO is great in that it can jump into your country with limited cost in terms of setup.
Mm-hmm.
But the flip side of that is that it can go
Yeah.
just as easily.
Because I was looking at it and I was saying the fact that we've never had a lot of BPOs being online. There's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunity for somebody to say, boy, if I could just get customers that would be okay with people just like a Fiverr type, you know those online
Yeah.
work environments. You can just go if you have something like that for Jamaica, where you can just okay, you're an employee here, you work from your computer, you answer the phones or whatever, and we just track your hours and them type of thing and just pay accordingly.
Remote BPO.
Yeah, remote BPO. That makes sense. But looking at it now, we don't happen after that. We're just now stepping into that, and Jamaica is not the place. It's not the place the cheapest labor in the world, so
No.
it can go
But
very easily.
also, that exists, that has always existed.
Exactly.
The issue with that is the reality of Jamaica. One, on the business side of things, a lot of those companies in this that they exist under and within the SZAs, special economic zones or special zones of activities,
Mm-hmm.
or SEC, special economic zones, SEZs. Yeah,
Yeah. Because also
SEZs.
yeah, that.
Yeah, yeah, Caesar. Jesus Christ, I like Caesar. Anyway, yo, Caesar. Anyway, where was I? SEZ. Uh, SEZ. Yeah, because within that regime, there's some laws that require like certain equipment that's used within it has to remain within it, which is coming off the free zone model and still has some elements of it, but and also has taxation benefits of companies that exist within that space and framework, which means that if they come out of that space and framework, they're no longer
Problems.
as competitive, right?
Yeah.
And so they need that framework, and you can't be at home and in that framework.
But
As crazy as it sounds. And
funny
on the
enough,
other hand,
mm,
no, go ahead.
but you might be more profitable if you have a remote.
No, it is more profitable, but it's a matter of law. It's a matter of law and how the
Although I
benefits
mean,
granted to you.
I know, yeah, man, but I'm saying just so I chop out the Caesar thing. I'm not working with that. It's easy. So I'm not
Mhm.
working with it's easy. I just have a remote thing. I just have a in my do my thing and then I will play
Yeah, it's your computer. Yeah.
everything. Yeah. Then
And so for the
that's
company buying the service, it might be cheaper.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no. Which well, no, because I think there's certain benefits that will be entrenched there on one hand. And yes, it might be cheaper along those lines, but then the other part of the part two of what I was saying is the thing that influences that, which is the chopper phone factor. That
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're sitting down, Factor.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim,
I heard the
are you sitting down?
monitoring is a big part of it. The monitoring of the employees is a big part of BPOs maintaining
Huge.
yeah their
Huge.
credibility to the outside people, their
Yep.
customers.
Yep. Because nothing kill a contract quicker than scamming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you hear some stories about how that went.
Well,
Even yeah,
we have an entire parish that can show you how that. Well, parishes, because it's not
great.
one alone. Yeah. Yeah. Some man say them done with more of them not stop dial. It's just it, it's us the people that cause that, So like I don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just it's the chickens coming home to roost, and we have to hope that what I think will have to happen is that we will have to just be better. Meaning the guys that run these companies are going to have to really put their skills to work to maybe keep and secure new contracts. 'Cause it might be opportunity also, right? Who knows? Maybe the US dollar rate might be higher, and that might be better for the business because it exists out here, but they're getting paid in foreign currency, and you might be able to offer these workers actually better, and that might mean that Jamaica might become cheaper than maybe a couple of other markets. But the truth is, it's almost every country in the world getting hit by this thing.
Yep.
So it's a matter of who more competent, who have the better pricing, and who can open up first.
Yep.
But who's going to bail the cat and tell the public that we actually need to open up if we want to survive?
Didn't you just do that, sir?
Yeah, I do it to the people who listen here, but we're known for crazy ideas on this. I am truly scared. So DTL.
Yeah.
So
So,
DTL, I think will do well if they can capitalize on the coming downturn or the coming possible contraction. Or let's hope, I suppose we hit the magic button. The airlines get it right. The travel industry as a whole gets it right. The hospitality industry as a whole gets it right. The marketing around it is done right, and Americans especially start to travel again. People are like, "Yo, we're over it." Um, Socially distance from the beach. That sort of thing. Just some, I don't know, it's just something, but something to get the traveling. Let's say they start traveling. Let's say the influencers start showing that, oh my God, I can go to Negril for $8.99 and two whatever, and it take off because you're going to have to shift your target market, right? If as I said earlier, 10% of the tourism product really comes from Jamaicans, and the other 90% comes from the people who visit, right? With America making up the lion's share of that. I think maybe over the next few years, we might have to have some of our tourism companies focus more on local,
mm,
bring that 10% up.
yep.
Yeah, maybe you double it. Maybe you remind Jamaicans that is our country,
Hmm.
and you can go. You can go Negril just as much as John. You can enjoy Blue Hole. You can go and swim with the dolphins at Chuka, or you can stay home if you can afford it, or if you can buy some less expensive food from Dairyman Traders. You know, their Delect line. I, I have a lot of confidence in a company that has always had to struggle for every dollar, and Derek Cottrell has shown himself, at least to me, to be a true hustler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the man said, every year that he's able, he's gonna buy a company.
Buy a company. Makes sense.
Yeah, looking out to see what I'm buying now, because this might be a very attractive time for him.
Yeah, if he has the money.
Yeah, but I suspect he can find the money.
Yeah.
Hell, him have woodcats, him have CFF
Remember, he had to
asset
sell
base bloody.
details sold some of CFF the other day, you know? Remember that?
Yeah,
So, I'm not sure.
how that going? But maybe himself forget the cash for do something.
I think he's supposed to get the cash to pay off some of that thing there. I've heard,
Heavy debt.
yeah, I've heard, I have to recheck it, but in my mind, it was a need why they sold piece of detail. See, a piece of CFF.
Wow. Well, I mean, business go. That's the point of having the asset anyway, to put it to
Mm-hmm.
use. Yeah,
What do
that's
you
something that
mean?
people don't
What do you mean, Randy? Sell a
talk.
stock to make money? You sure?
That's what people don't talk about. Like it's okay. Let me say this. Let me say the thing that the mess. Let me put the message that I want to put out there, which is to the people listening who might have this question. Yo, what do I do because I lose my job? And have maybe 800,000 left on the car for pay off, and I don't have a job, so I have a little bit of savings. I have 600,000 savings, but I have maybe 2 million in NCB shares because I did buy the NCB shares from a long time and forget about them. Check them one day, and I bought them at $60. And even though NCB drop,
You still have
it's still 140 something, so still have some money. But I don't want to sell NCB shares. It is perfectly okay to be in a bad situation and
money.
sell your shares to handle the situation.
Yep.
That is what they're for. Yeah, the asset has no use unless you're utilizing it.
People often forget that, It's like having things. It's like having a bank account, to be honest. Say you spend only
Exactly.
100,000 a month, but you have a running balance on your bank account. Every month your bank balance is $2 million, but you only spend 100,000 a month. What the next 1.9 doing for you? Like, what's it really doing for you? That money makes no sense for you at all. So better you find something to spend it or invest it. So as Randy says, money can only be invested.
Yep. Literally the only thing you can do with it.
If you buy a new car, you invest it. If you buy bread, you invest it.
Yep. So
Money don't have anybody on it spent.
exactly. You can't just sit down and look on it. You have to use it. The asset have to be used. So I can't knock him if that's what I'm doing. And if anybody listening wondering about that was in that situation, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're facing a situation and boy, I'm going to sell the stocks or handle it, sell the stocks, handle it, and start over.
Yep.
The market
better alive than rich.
Yeah, exactly. Well, go again.
Better alive than rich and dead.
And rich, 100%, 100%. You can't spend it when you're dead.
Yep.
Yeah, cannot spend it when you're dead.
And if you're working on the inheritance, I would say it makes sense to sell those stocks.
Yeah. Depends. So DTL, I would put in the bag. I say I personally have a lot of faith.
Yeah, man. I think they'll be doing all right. At least all right. If anything, they'll be doing better. They'll be doing well.
Unlike our next pick.
Why?
ECL.
ECL results just come out, The results before the corona problems.
Yeah. And how were they doing?
They were doing well. And then, but they did mention, happily, that I'm glad they did it, in the report that, corona box is still. Don't bring up that report right now. Express Catering Limited. So February 29, 2020 results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There were so EPS was 1 cent less. Well, the EPS for the Q3 Q3 just gone was 0.068, and the corresponding one from the year before was 0.069.
How much that work out to? 0.068, you say? Or
0.068.
just 0.68?
It's from 0.069 to 0.068.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is ending in February. So March was a problem of the corona for Jamaica.
Yeah. But they still fell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I believe that they would have started seeing maybe some of the issues in flying from before, from maybe
yes,
January.
exactly that. So they came that close on the back of or there's already some contraction in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think they were topping out their earnings, and unless they were going to start doing something more major in the airport to attract more people to spend.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, man. And you hear them start talking about where they might be expanding beyond just Jamaica or beyond just that one airport. They're looking into expansion. So that the money here kind of stagnant. That's what my thoughts on it.
Where would they expand?
I've checked those reports if they did mention that they were going to expand, but 2 airports in Jamaica, 2 major airports in Jamaica.
Exactly, and common sense, you can link it up. So the
same people, yeah.
The Montego Bay Airport is controlled by a Mexican company,
and that same company now controls Kingston
like
Airport.
Norman Manley International Airport. So it makes sense since they've already have a relationship, they're already established here.
Mm-hmm.
I would think they have a good foothold. Not that there's a guarantee, but
Yeah.
I would think they have a good foothold. But on the flip side, their revenue is very much a function of um, arrivals and departures
Yep. People
and
walking through that
tourism.
place.
Exactly. And tourism is going to feel it, is feeling it, and will continue to feel it. Mobe is the biggest airport in Jamaica in terms of
Mm.
arrivals and
Yeah.
departures. And so that's definitely feeling it. Kingston, they might have to jump to Kingston just to save them life, to be a lifeline. They might have to speed that up.
But even now they're still having problems with that. Money not flowing through Kingston either. It's an airport
Well, they
right
don't
now.
have any. Well, yeah, but people still fly. Once flights open up, I think
Oh yeah,
people
right
still fly.
man. I'm talking about no. And the question is when flights get open back up.
And how long it would take them to open up and set
Yeah.
up in
And then you still
Kingston.
and you're going to need people. So it's not only just cool Jamaica accepting people now. Other countries have to say we're sending people abroad.
Well, yeah,
And it has to be in some good as it will. Which is probably why I said the Kingston makes sense. Have two locations more than just the one to at
yes,
least keep
to offset.
you can offset the loss in the one area. So yeah. That's funny, that's a that's sensible use of diversification. Sensible.
Oh, you like yes, it is. Yes, it is. Diversification of location,
Mm-hmm.
of customer base too, because I believe that the types of flights from Kingston would obviously be different from the types of flights from Mobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mobe would have heavy tourism flights, while Kingston would have heavy tourism too, but also a lot of local linked,
Mm-hmm.
meaning citizens and business and so on. Yeah, so conferences, yeah, that sort of thing. I like to hold out hope, but on a straight line basis, obviously ECL might see some contraction too. But on the flip side, they pay dividends and they pay dividends in US dollars
Mm-hmm.
and they pay dividends in US dollars in a country where the US dollar rate might be seeing some pressure. And they pay dividends in a country where the biggest dividend payers are currently prohibited from paying dividends.
There's
So there
need
may
some
be
money to
people
pay
out there
dividends.
seeking dividends. Yep. And they pay dividends from St. Lucia, where we don't get taxed when you receive those dividends.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just
So
need
they
money,
might,
just need to get money to pay dividends. So
yeah, they do need cash to pay those dividends. Yeah,
so
they
what's
have
going
to
to
repay
happen?
that. Yeah,
So yeah.
that cash they need to make some money.
So if you're looking for that, if you're actually looking out for your well the a time comes where they can make money again. Might be a good opportunity.
Yeah, it's always about the timing. I think
Timing.
what this one might be the timing. Yeah,
Yeah.
the timing and there are little indicators you can look for. Them that won't show you. Common sense can show you them though. You know them that I, but yeah, the indicators you can look for, and I'll be looking for them for ECL. Because I think I still own some ECL shares.
I don't anymore. I made a lot of money on that stock in the year it came. In the year it was
Yeah,
IPO'd over and over again. Because
yeah, I remember
people
it
just
was
would
more
not get
than
it that boy, this company is worth more than whatever you're seeing right now. And they kept results drop, price up, buy sell, and it's right back down to that $4 line over and over again. So you go. Happy times.
happy times. That's the same thing. I sold the majority of my position, but I know I kept a little.
Mm.
I believe I kept a little. I'm not seeing it on my dashboard, but I do know that I've seen dividends from them. That is strange. Hmm. I should check that. Or maybe it was that they had a. I think the last dividend payment had like a record date far from the payment date, and in between the two, I may have sold. That must be it. Hmm. Anyway, that is the that is the dividend report today. Today's dividend report from Randy. Um, I think the case is clear for them if they either get into new countries or new locations. We'll say new locations, and I think they have a lot of experience with they have a lot of experience with Starbucks now, which would be one of their flagship brands, and I think they can very quickly make the case for Starbucks in Norman Man International Airport. That would be nice, and it might help a little. But how much can it help? We don't guess. We go and check to see how much it actually helps and
Mhm.
estimate.
Yeah.
It's so much grub, so used to just saying that and people get it, and I hope they get it. Uh yeah, ECL, what's next?
Oh boy, everything fresh.
Ooh, boy, it's a rough run.
It
Ooh,
was rough before.
ooh.
It rough on them now. Like, I was trying to start. Oh boy. And you know they had just sold the thing there, the place they had bought.
I mean, it's been rough on them before
See,
Corona,
yeah,
right?
I mentioned that it's been rough on them, and then now this guy happened to them. So boy, hotels fall off, which was I thought of them as the thing there, the CPJ trying to be. Like you want to be you want to be at CPJ level, it just wasn't happening. And then
I
this
mean,
summer,
yeah, they're a competitor of CPJ.
hey, what really
Sorry.
how much?
Well, obviously a smaller competitor. Long before the Corona thing, I wondered something. Long before the Corona thing, I wondered this. What? Why did they buy that meat company if they were just going to shutter it
Yeah,
a
so
quarter
yeah,
later?
it was making losses for them. I guess they really thought it was gonna be profitable. I don't know what happened there, but expectation never equal reality at all. And then here we
Wow.
are. They didn't list too long ago, and then now they sell it, think them buy with it. That's crazy.
Yeah, but like it was a big deal, and then they bought it and then just lock. I thought they were maybe going to, like let's say they lock it down and move the assets in or whatever. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually confused by that. And they have been going through it from them list.
Mm-hmm.
Have they ever been above their listing price?
Not sure now. I have to check.
Whatever it is, I know that they're going through and have been going through hell.
Yep.
But when I saw it at first, I was hoping that they had bought Sweet River,
Zero. Yeah.
but no such
No
luck.
record like that. Nope.
Everything fresh look like everything's still not fresh, and then they look like this gonna help. Moreover, most of what them sell comes straight from tourism,
Mm-hmm.
like a significant percentage. I believe NCB had an analysis the other day. I think that covered them where they spoke. I don't know what the percentage was from it, but it is huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fall off in tourism is set to impact them heavily, and they have heavy. I think they sell chicken too. I think everybody sell chicken, and and as you hear, Jamaica have a glut on chicken and a block on imports, and I believe they used to import. I think they import everything they sell. I could be wrong, but I think they import everything they sell.
Mm-hmm.
So them getting beaten on both
Yep.
sides.
And look, I think the meat processing was a yeah man. The imports it because the meat processing was an attempt to control the vertical.
Localized.
Yep.
Ah.
Get them prices low. But boy, nobody work up for them. You can. There's a loop article on them funny. The company said,
Loop again.
yeah, company said steps are being taken to mitigate these effects on as the situation develops, including repositioning products for more retail sales to the local market. So CPJ box deal type of thing. I haven't seen I
Mm.
eat everything fresh box deal though. Maybe it's out there.
But CPJ just move faster than marketing. It would seem like CPJ is on top of them marketing a lot more. Moving fast. And of course CPJ have more resources and seem to be more in tune with it. While I mean everything fresh still strikes me as a very much a family company.
Yeah.
Not that family companies are inherently a bad thing, eh?
Look,
But
it seems like it was. It's actually I never really expect. I often hear, boy, I never expect that type of company to list or company of that size and they're not ready for the market. I don't agree with that type of talk. But
at all.
boy,
No.
it's not what we're used to. Best I say that.
But that's good. That's good. That's
I
good.
agree
That's
there
good.
definitely, but then here we are, right? We're
Yeah.
off
Well,
on
they
them.
were going to face it anyway.
Yeah,
Imagine what they would be going through if they were facing it without the market behind them. If they never get that nice injection of cash.
yep. Rough man,
Yeah.
rough.
So really rough on them. Uh Next up we have Elite. Elite closed. Elite closed this week at $3.70. I think $3.70, and Elite has been down for a little while now. In fact, they started the year at $4.99. You know, started the year at $4.99, at the end of the year. They're not sorry, we're ending the year. They're currently ending April because at the start of May, Friday, May 1, they're at 355. Wow. 355 versus a 499 start. That can be scary, especially if you have heavy money in there. You lose almost 30% of your money, 29% of your money gone if you're sitting in this one. And I don't see them necessarily doing
I don't see it. I don't see something great going on for them right now. Remember, they just opened a new place too, and that place I had, I would say, not enough time to get much of a following.
mm, mm,
And I don't think anyway again. So elective procedures. You see, like the public health system,
mm-hmm.
they're telling, but they're not prioritizing elective procedures right now, and so tests like I come in for a diagnostic test on something that won't necessarily the government wouldn't take it up right now when in these COVID times as something to be a big deal. I'm not seeing where AD to get up and think there would be the leader
Feel like
that
this.
in that space. But think there, right? Maybe a doctor or somebody who works closely with them can give me clarification on what's happening in terms of the market for them right now.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, I would have a doctor online, so we, we, we have to just work with what we have in front of us, which is if the I mean the company where they make the money, they make most of the money from that from the X-rays, not just the X-rays, the
Yeah, man, all,
scans,
all them scanning
diagnostic.
things. Yeah,
Mhm. But it's a matter of which ones, like what the actual scans and procedures that they do are, and how much it impacts their revenue,
yeah,
and
and
of course their.
the COVID test is a swap, not a. So I'm not going to see where they get increased business from this.
But they might. What could happen is you have to think of the
Or
whole. You have to
repurpose.
think of the whole universe. Yeah. So if the hospital is not seeing X, Y, Z, we're not doing these things right now because we're saving space and handling our COVID things, blah blah blah. Then you might get shuttled to
But I
Delhi.
told you that doctors' offices are complaining about. So like, I know I have a good amount of doctor friends that they complain that they go into their private practices, private practice
Mhm.
work, and one or two people come for the day. No, versus when they used to have a full house.
I've read that. I've read that for more than just Jamaica. So that's interesting. So like I get people just not going to the
Yeah, it's
doctor
like
even
I'm
sick.
not. I'm only risking this for COVID. I'm not leaving
Yeah,
that. I'm not bothering myself with this, and it's COVID I have. So
yeah, yeah. That's a good point. That's a very very good point. I mean,
their Ochi location that they just opened up, it
mhm.
lots of offices were there. They put lots of offices there so they can have basically a private practice running alongside that thing there, alongside the diagnostic center. And I'm not seeing
Mhm.
where if this is across the board, then those doctors' offices were built, and then they might not be seeing the business they thought they would have seen from him because of what's happening right now.
Mm. Hmm. So there might be a fall off in their overall business.
Yep.
I mean, when people sick, them sick, yeah. But I don't know
But
how
yeah,
much
but
of
then
this.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. And as it was, they were already falling down.
Hmm.
Profit was already low.
Yeah. The phenomenon. And then they open a new location and then boom.
Profit fall.
Yeah.
Which happens because sometimes the expenses go up for that
Yeah, man. But
location. You have to
my
chipping
issue
in
with them
and
is at IPO, the profit there was a profit they were making at when the IPO is about the same now after all the new businesses they should be seeing.
still
So yeah.
what they're making hella revenue more.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow, whole heap more revenue. Now they're at 117 million last year, and just for the quarter, and for the 6 months at 235.9 million versus last year same 6 months. The year before same 6 months they were at 182 million in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And what increased profit to their credit?
Mm-hmm.
6 months December 31st 2019
Mm-hmm.
21.1 million profit. net profit
Mm.
versus 6.7 million. So hey, that's great. That's
Mm-hmm.
I just eyeballing it, but it looked like also an increase not just in net profit but also net profit margin. It would seem.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
they
last
might.
quarter results.
Mm-hmm. Looking at the 6 months results.
Look at the quarter itself, man. Not the
The
six.
quarter itself has a nice jump in income, but it has a fall in in net profit.
Yeah, man. That's what I remember.
Yeah, yeah. But
People,
I stuck as
people were
six
hoping
months.
and praying on that. I remember thing the at or link up had mentioned that Elite as going to steal Philip's choice because
Ah,
he was he was an Elite fan. So I thought
yeah.
I'll steal his I'll answer for him and say Elite, and
Big up Phil
then
with
this
the
go
elite.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, boy. But to be fair, most of elites money comes from the local market.
Mm-hmm.
I think once people start going out and about again,
Yeah.
and the fact that it's a health-based industry, I think I think they'll pick up. I don't. I think they may. I hesitate to say that they're corona or recession proof, but on the list of businesses on the exchange that might be recession or corona proof, I would say elite is there. They're in the medical industry, they can pivot that way, and once you're sick, you'll do what you need to, or you'll try to, yeah. And I believe they might have some revenue. I think they might get some work from the government, Not, and I think I heard that before corona was a thing, that they might get work from the government. Like the government does something with
Oh yeah, man. So the government was thing there was pulling in on the people that do similar businesses and they're partnering with them. Wasn't for COVID, but
it was
when that
before.
yeah, man. But when that list came out, I didn't see it on it.
Mm,
So the competitors were there. They were not.
damn. Well,
Yeah.
whew, I don't own any elite shares. I don't own any elite shares, but it's not a bad thing when a company goes through trouble, as we know,
Uh-huh.
because it's not about the trouble you go through, so you rise out of it.
You can drop that
And
buffet code. Everybody dropping.
which is what?
It's fair.
Oh,
It's good to be fearful.
is everybody fearful now on the Jenna sell the whole airline still saying fearful too? Everybody afraid.
No, them say it's funny, They'll be fearful with him, but they won't be fearful against him.
Exactly, right? Even though him say no that he classifies himself as a dinosaur, and I honestly think that the industry, not just the industry, and I'm talking finance in general, worldwide now, is going through a generational shift and a
Mhm.
shift in thought and thinking. So you see, like the difference between a Buffett's generation and thinking and a Bill Ackman's generation and thinking.
Mhm.
And Bill Ackman, Bill Ackman. It's so funny because I didn't rate Bill Ackman before,
Mhm. But then
but
you have to rate money.
the more I did, yeah, and his thinking. I think listening to his thinking and reading some of his work has pushed me to, like, I respect what he does, even though I don't like it. And I know I don't like because I don't like the quant thing,
Mhm.
but you can't knock results. At the end of the day, I measure the effectiveness of an investor based on the results that they pull, and you cannot knock his results.
Really?
And when
Not
you
by him adhering to some numbers that him really don't know what I mean.
well, him and Buffett not really friends either. Isn't that funny?
Oh wait,
They
wait.
don't really,
I was making a joke at certain people, but
I know
that's
you were.
funny. They
I know
aren't.
you were.
But
I'm
yeah,
ignoring you. I'm ignoring that. I'm
yeah,
ignoring that. I'm going. I don't think they get along very well. I know Charlie Munger don't really like him, and I um, I've heard, Ackman make some comments that that indicate that he's not really the hugest fan of Buffett, but he himself have to call Buffett the greatest investor ever.
yeah.
But
Like,
at the same time,
I mean, look at the size of Berkshire now versus when Buffett just started. So,
yeah. And I hear him do a ratted speech at the annual meeting yesterday.
mhm.
As in him sit down and talk for 5 hours straight about the whole thing, the company build the economy and not to bet against America. I didn't even gone through it. When the notes come out, that go.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, apparently I mean, I think it's the end of his generation. I think it's the end
Yeah,
of his time.
that's what I was wondering. Yeah, if you, but
Yeah. It's kind of time for him. It's obviously time for him to hand over. I mean, him and Monga couldn't do it together because them couldn't be in the same location.
oh,
And he's deep in the coronavirus susceptible age
Yeah.
group. As Richard sees, I'm surprised that he was the one who went out, but then again, Munga is older too.
Mm-hmm.
So, boy, I don't worry about them because I am sure that both of them have the greatest healthcare available in the entire world.
Yeah,
And
burgers.
exactly, and Coke.
Burgers and Coke.
Um, and, uh, and Bill Ackman is not doing bad himself. He's actually married to a doctor. Bill Ackman's wife is amazing,
Mm.
amazing. She's a doctor. I didn't even know it was his wife. I knew about his wife before I really dug into him. Well, I knew about him, but I never know about the link between the two of them. Meaning, I don't know if you ever watched this series on Netflix. I think it's called Abstract.
Mm-hmm.
There's this amazing, you typical TV, but she's obviously stunningly beautiful. Israeli doctor who I think works with MIT and runs a special lab at MIT, and that's Bill Ackman's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess that's what you do when you're a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Instructively, it's also his second wife. Yeah, they just had a child. I know that because I was listening to a podcast that he was on recently. I gotta share that podcast in the show notes. Anybody interested should listen to it. It can be complex. It can have a lot of things that are outside of Jamaica. That, but it occurs to me that I don't hear anybody within Jamaica talking about the things he's talking about or doing the things he's talking about in a Jamaican way, in a Jamaican context, because the things he's talking about do have parallels in Jamaica. But I've also realized that it means it's just up to us to do it and
You
stop
know the
whining.
usual. You know the usual.
Yeah, yeah. So there will always be more coming. We'll keep it exciting, and it's the great. Nothing builds good things like adversity.
Maybe they like us. Maybe they like us when the money talk. I don't know. Anyway,
Well,
on to the next one.
yeah. The next one being Epley
Epic.
Limited.
A company I still own 100 shares of.
Really?
Yeah.
I still
They
own.
email the shareholders, so I never wanted to start getting emails from them.
They don't email me.
The ratings thing.
I suspect so. Do you know? Do you know? No house emails me.
Who?
Literally, no broker emails me.
Oh. Hmm.
Even the bro, even the brokers that I obviously have accounts and interact with. None of them email me. I don't get. Sometimes I sign up for the stuff. I don't get them, or
After
I get
that,
them and
now
they're
you get
not.
VM's emails.
No, not anymore.
Oh. No, no.
No, yeah, that's right. I do still get VMs, market,
Active
the
investor.
daily market
Yeah.
update. Active investor, yeah, yeah, yeah. I do pay attention to that. Big up VM for that. VM Wealth. They do an active investor thing. Yes. Uh did you listen to that episode that I put out that you weren't on, the one with the phone calls?
No, 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 I didn't finish listening.
You should listen to it. The end especially is really, really good. There's a gentleman on it named Diane, Dayan,
Mm-hmm.
and listen to it. Listen to it, and you'll understand why I told you to go listen to it. But he talks about VM a lot,
Mm.
and asks why nobody on our show or none of us have ever spoken about VM on the show.
Oh, yeah?
Big up Diane.
I haven't spoken about VM?
Yeah, I think you have, but not in the way that you wanted to. But then when I pressed him a little bit and pressed him on why him sis on talking, then you start to realize why he was saying what he was saying.
Oh,
It'll be good.
okay.
I enjoyed that conversation a lot. I think you will also. And in editing, when I listen to it, every time I listen to it, I start to smile because you can hear say him get it, like
Mm.
him know him understand. Yeah,
Mm.
big him up, big him
Cool,
up.
cool.
I want to give him proper big up, but I don't remember him Twitter handle. But I will do the necessary work because
Let's
he's
hope I
been
said
doing.
his name is right. His name right.
I did say his name correct, and that is actually part of the conversation. To Diane V Ives, and his at on Twitter is at Diane876, Dayan876.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it is a good conversation. Big him up for that, and you'll understand why. But yeah, Epley, the old money run by the smart money, Let's call him that, the smart money. The guys who not a lot of people know what Epley actually does. what does Epley actually do? Let me see what Epley states that they
They
do.
do.
Yeah. And we're talking
They
about
do
Epley.
they manage a company that we spoke of last episode. CPFV.
Yes, the Caribbean Property Fund value. Epley Caribbean Property Fund value.
Yeah.
That's
Go by one name, brother.
yeah. that's yeah. Yeah. Um, as of the last financials, audited financial, I'm looking at the 31st of December 2019. Did they have anything fresher than that? As of then, they are they describe themselves as a use their words. They're incorporated in Jamaica. They're the first. Well, this is good. They're the first company to graduate from the junior market to the main market. They did that in 2018. And the principal activity, what they do is they invest in credit products, including insurance, premium loan, and lease financing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they own Painter as a subsidiary and Epley Fund Managers Limited. And both of those have credit products and management services. I think the latter one is the one that manages the CPFV,
Mm-hmm.
and they form a group. So that's what Epley is. And I call them the smart money.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, the guys who have been doing this for a long time and will be doing it for a long time. I didn't even talk much about them,
Yeah,
honestly.
me neither.
I
I did
don't know.
mention before that way back when, I think one of the Ryan episodes where I was
Mhm.
saying that the fund management money will be good money for them because
Ah,
it'll be new money for them, and they had seen some uptick in the business before the fund management thing was going on. So
yes.
the CPFV money would be good for them because it's a percentage of the assets, net assets, I think, that they get from
Mhm.
as a payment. So
Yeah, which is the usual fund
yeah,
management
man.
fee method.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually based on either growth. They probably have a growth rider in there also. So if you grow it by X amount, you get X boost.
Mm. It's all
Yeah,
all in prospectus, so I can't remember it exactly right now.
yeah, that's exactly where it is. Anybody who wants more details, that I can go and check out the CPFV prospectus. And I believe also some of that early boost you might have mentioned would have come from the fact that they would have sold property to CPFV. So they would have booked the gain on that, I assume.
Epley own the property?
Yeah.
Oh, so no then?
Yeah. So you're baking some profit for yourself. A smart business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the profit was growing, as you said, and up to 2019, they have growth in profit also. Of course, I always look on the profit, and you can check out the other statements. I mean, the asset base obviously would grow,
Mm-hmm.
and their liabilities have grown, but not that much, from 2.5 to 2.9 billion. JMD, mm, they're borrowing, so it's borrowing, but that's cool. I figured they use it like dry powder, and I think we need to go too deep in them. I just think of them as the old money, the smart money. And obviously, they are definitely a long term sort of thing, even though they have provided short term gains
Gains, yeah.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they do pay a dividend. And I suspect that they will continue to pay a dividend.
Mm-hmm.
And things are usually good once you can control a fund. The company that controls a fund is always in a great place and always has a nice little buffer.
Interestingly, our next in line
Mm-hmm.
has that
Oh,
same thinking.
First Rock.
Have that same thinking.
Yes.
Next in line.
Yes. Yeah. What a segue. So First Rock has First Rock Capital Holdings Limited is a real estate and private equity. Do they say the private equity anymore, or is it just First Rock Capital Holdings is just real estate? They had a specific term they used in the prospectus,
I'm not sure,
something
but
like
I know that they think that they did do private equity recently. Dollar
was it them
Financial.
or was it the group?
Dollar Financial, man. First Rock that we own got into. But we can own.
Mm.
Let me find it.
I know they bought Dollar Financial, yeah.
Yeah. The majority holders in Dollar Financial now.
Mm. Mm. And that's good. Dollar Financial wasn't that at was that at SSL?
Yes. Yeah.
The touching, I want to see that notice. So I just want to be sure that,
Taking it now. Looking for it. Yeah, looking for it.
yeah, I want to see the exact wording. But in the meantime, I'll tell you what first what themselves says that they do. Um, or if anybody wanting to do what I do here, all I'm doing is I'm checking the prospectus because I want to use their actual wording so that you have an idea as they have put it forward of what exactly it is that they do. And it's all over, but there's a specific bit I just want to be clear on and read from there. So they're a St. Lucia company. So, tax benefits there. And they stated that in the prospectus. That's why they did it. They're very smart with tax management with all of their subsidiaries also. It has a couple of subsidiaries, one in the USA, one in Latin America, and another in Cayman. And of course, the group, it's First Rock Capital Holdings Limited that exists in St. Lucia, as I said. So the main activities of the company are holding investments and controlling the operations of its subsidiaries. The company's core focus is real estate and private equity investments, and the company's primary aim is to provide its shareholders with a tax-efficient vehicle, offering an enhanced level of income above average dividend yield and preservation of capital through the diversification of assets. It sounds so nice. Average dividend yield last year, 2019, the biggest dividend that was paid based on the average prices of all the shares across the exchange in 2019. The biggest dividend would have been paid out if you held it for the whole year would have been Scotia, which had, I think, a dividend yield based on the average price, that a dividend yield of about 8%. So you can use that to judge accordingly. If that's the biggest, then you can figure out what average yield is. An average might be much lower. I can't bother work out what average is
I
right
was
now, but
about to say the averages wouldn't necessarily. You wouldn't mark the average based on the biggest.
yeah, no, I want the people to know what the top is, so you have an idea what to look at. And the average is probably like 3 or 4%, if not two
If
percent.
not two.
Yeah, so if I mean they're trying to beat 2% in terms of yield, and my personal view is dividends are for people of either a lot of money or a lot of patience. So if these guys are trying to do what they're trying to do is they're trying to disrupt the dividend game, which is an entire crowd in and of itself. That's not a huge subset of investing.
The
Like
President
how
Smithy.
yeah, yes, big up Smithy Royal. So like a lot of people, everybody hears long term. That's the third thing. So you hear two D's and one L. Uh, Dividend, diversification, and long term. But the reality of investing in equity market spans everything, not just long term, short term, all sorts of terms, right? And there are all sorts of strategies, all sorts of ways to do it. The idea is to find the one that works best for you and works best based on the market that you are present in or markets. Um, so there is an entire dividend investing strategy, and to this day, I've not seen anybody do a proper publicly. Hey guys, this is a dividend port. That's a free idea throwing out there that maybe people should do a nice dividend portfolio for people who might want dividend investing and an open one, where you openly tell people, say, hey guys, I think this will get you 4% a year in cash, in four tranches based on a holding in XYZ. I mean, I can do it, I probably will do it, but I'd like if somebody else did it. I think it'd be good. I haven't heard anybody do that. So I think what First Rock is saying is that they intend to provide a level of stability in terms of your capital and a level of return that you'll have the same stability of capital as a dividend investor. That's what they're aiming for, but higher returns than a typical dividend investor. And of course, if you're a dividend investor and you're holding for the long term, like value investors do, you would then benefit obviously from greater dividend yields over time. And First Rock has my personal view is that they're baked in the profit for themselves for like the next 2 years. I mean, they're projected a rights issue this financial year. I don't know if it happened again with the protections that might be needed for the exchange rate, but even if it doesn't, or if it happens, um, that is an opportunity, and they might be seen as stable. So there might be an option for a lot of people. And they also, I think, bake in their profit because they're in real estate and they're going to get gains from the revaluation of real estate and the fact that they're in property
Gasp.
development.
Randy, what?
So the fact that they're in property development means that they're also baking in an increase in the value of their property because, and I'm basing that on the fact that if you buy a piece of land in Norbrook, it's worth $40 million, nothing on it, right? And if you take money that you've gotten from the market and develop that piece of land and put a nice set of apartments on there, and then ask the valuators to come back and, hey, value this land for me again, it's gonna be valued a lot more than 40 million. And um, if you have then, and the fact that you're using cash to do it and it's working on building up something, it probably just hits a balance sheet. So it doesn't hit the P&L, a lot of the spend to get the properties going properly. Or maybe it does based on how you do it. Maybe you do it through friend companies or whatever. And they did say that they plan to use the network, which is smart. And so then a $40 million piece of land in Norbrook is now worth 400 million because it has this wonderful thing on it. And you own units in that thing. This is all an example, guys. I'm just using a regular example. I don't know if they actually have anything up Norbrook. But so you own units in the place that you've built. The value of it has gone up. And the company itself, First Rock Capital Holdings, has said that it is in the business of property holding and development. So or property holding, at least asset holding, and they are going to gain from the revaluation of those properties. So you've kind of made it for yourself. It's like, yo, I make money from black cars and I buy white cars for cheap, and I also am in the business of spraying cars. so, so it's going to work. They're going to have high profits, but it's going to be interesting to see how the industry responds to what they usually term paper profits. Because that's where a lot of the profits are going to come. And now you know me already, profit is profit, yeah? Throw it in the retained earnings and we'll eat it some point in the future. But I don't know if First Rock is. I am very interested in seeing how the industry is going to respond to it. And then the next thing I'm thinking about is this is one company that is not directly tourism related, but it might be affected by Corona, yeah?
Yeah.
Because the general feel of real estate, and they do luxury apartments, not just in Jamaica. So they diversified they diversified themselves by locations, and they have a nice diversification strategy. You can read it in the prospectus. But they are now facing a world that is not the same as it was 6 months ago,
Yep.
where I might just not want to buy that luxury apartment, that expensive apartment. No, maybe I want to just keep my cash.
That rental income, I might just be staying at home versus.
And Airbnb is still dead right now at least.
So yeah.
Yeah. First Rock might be going through it, but they also still have, as long as them can get those construction projects going and get those real estate bits of real estate revalued, they'll be fine. And also they pay. So the point that we led into this with, where we said that it pays really well to control a fund.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so you could look at First Rock Capital Holdings as a fund, and the management company is paid based upon the performance of the asset base and the growth of the profit also. And we know if they're making in profit and they're going to make the assets look better, which they should because they're doing a good job there, then they're baking in a payment for themselves. So it pays really well for them to do
Well,
what they say they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't gain from that because we, the shareholders, would only
We
own
fund, not
the fund,
management.
fund in air quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like it, love it, or not so sure, or hate it?
First Rock, I like
I,
it, but I'm just looking out for what they're going to do and how they're going to do. I'm not jumping to invest in them right now. Interesting, they paid a dividend shortly after coming
yeah.
to market, and people use it as a, oh look what happened despite. Nah,
Despite what?
we also talk about the listing, and people were, because it fell shortly after listing the price. So people were saying people were saying things there because the dividend was a marker of their success or something.
Really?
Some people, yeah.
Well, I guess. I mean, some people see the market differently. So, I mean, what did the IPO at? What was the price? I mean,
I check in, sir.
oh, I thought you just did it off the top of your head. I
Oh
remember
no,
it's like either 1441 or 1667.
1667. That sounds in there. That sounds familiar.
So high, is it, right? Yeah, it's either I have those two numbers on it. I think it's 1667. They have yet to approach that. So if you put money in First Rock, you are down heavily right now.
Mm.
First Rock JMP at least is down. If it's 1667, then ooh, we're down. Oh, wow, wow. 30 odd percent, 34%. Can imagine you put $1 million in there, you only have 659,000 left, and it's not even 2 months yet. But I think what is clear, and I would have hoped that I think a lot of people would have heard this, and I heard a lot of people saying it. Everybody I asked about it, who was asking me about it, I asked them what the time was that they're investing for, and all of them said long
Long
term.
term until you fall on index. Weird.
Yes, but if you really truly mean long term, then you're fine.
Yep.
In fact, if you really truly mean long term, it's an opportunity to buy more at $11. It's a great opportunity to buy more, and people have been buying and selling, obviously. But
Mm-hmm.
it's there's not much I can say. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here, because I don't know how well those apartments. I'm just thinking of Kingston here and Jamaica, really, because they weren't just in Kingston. They have a place in Ochi and so on. But I just wondering how well the real estate market will do. I am now changing a lot of my views about that. I thought it could weather the storm, but no.
Because the storm cake, it might be here for longer than we thought, or longer than we hoped.
Yeah. I hope I'm wrong on that. I hope we're wrong on that. I really hope we're wrong on that. But if the storm is here for longer, then I think you might see a fallout in real estate. And we also have to remember that real estate is just like any other equity class, where anything that's an equity class, where you have the influence that comes from people fearing that it's going to fall out. So you might see prices going down. And we know for a fact, like the people who, if you paid your rent just off Airbnb,
Or just the rental money you collecting, then boy.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a place and you're renting it to a Jamaican, as long as them don't lose them job and can keep up the payments,
Yeah.
everything's still good. I don't know. There's not much else I can say. I guess it's done. I won't even go into too much though, since I kind of feel that the vibe just kind of off for it. First Rock don't really have anything in it for anybody who wants any money very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that was clear from the IPO, and I think it remains clear now that the dealing and asset. I'm excited that they can bring disruption to the real estate class, but still,
Mm-hmm.
you're disrupting a lower, slower class.
Yep.
It's still disruption. I like it, but it's still a lower, slower class. So good luck to them as a business. I think they'll weather the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Real estate lasts very, very long. But
Agreed.
and not much there. Fussrich.
Lighting company.
The lighting company. How do you feel?
But first, you just came to the market. They had some problems with the inventory turnover and all that, the overstocking. They fixed that. So they went into manufacturing of PVC pipes. We haven't really seen where that has been doing well for them.
Have they shown the full of that? Have they shown the full of that, of the effect of that buy yet? The new
full
factory?
Effect meaning what?
Yeah. Meaning, I remember at one point they were teasing a new factory.
Oh yeah, man. Not sure if I know what you're talking about. Teasing a new factory or teasing a manufacturing line. I don't know they bought
a manufacturer. I was under the impression that the manufacturing line was a new factory. Isn't that what they were teasing?
Yes, man. I think they were.
He never tell us where it was first, where it was
Oh
coming,
yeah,
when there
man.
was a
They did tell us
coming.
it was PVC they're doing, and it came online. But yeah, man, there are new warehouse facility in November 2019. But
You don't sound very hopeful. They are in an industry where they make money from the day to day, just the day to day life. People need electrical things, but obviously they make a lot of money also from the construction industry,
yes,
I
this
believe.
thing that proven GK and Fastridge in on the warehouse deal. Remember that? Spoke about that.
Yes, yes, yes.
But for the PVC, I'm not seeing where it's been great for them yet. Yeah, profit revenue up about 90 mil. On this is the last thing, the last financials on the 3 months September 2019. Revenue was up about 90 mil, 440 from 353. Profit was 11 mil compared to 10 mil.
Hmm. How them asset and them cash flow look, because maybe you can see something big there from that's why I wanted to know if you're seeing the full effect of the new line. I said a new fact,
Profit plant and equipment went up by 70 mil.
but we're not really seeing no output from it. And I haven't seen when is their financial year. I think we're due some annual
Yeah, we do
results
some
from
annual
them.
results as of December. If we don't get them already, actually. Let me check.
No, it's not. At least if they are, it's not in the annual report section at JSC.
Yeah, man. And audited financial statements there, not on a report. See there.
Oh, the four. Sorry, I was looking at the annual report because I wanted
Yeah,
to
reach
get.
more wealth.
Yeah, I'd need MDNA to tell
You
some
know
hints
that.
about this.
Yeah, audited up 400 mil year on year and
Yeah. Oh,
10 mil increase in profit.
they did include MDNA.
Yes.
Wow, I mean, they definitely had something to say
Yeah.
for the fourth quarter. Wow. Hmm. And they have heavy receivables. I know they also did something with JPS, but I don't know if that was continued.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing something with the lighting program, I believe.
Yeah.
The switch over from the old kind of bulbs to the new ones. Yeah, but I mean, a less than 10% increase in net profit revenue. I Corona really throw things in that will really is like a wait and see for this one,
Mm.
unless I want a deep dive, which I don't want to. Yeah,
I feel I can dig some more just based off what's in my head. It ain't that great.
and their current price is 389 at a PE ratio of 19.8 times. Ah, good luck. I wouldn't put my money in there personally, but I can understand how somebody who have a different timeline or and is willing to maybe go through a couple of dips in price and average down might be interested in it. Yeah, yeah. So that's a light overview. I'll do that, and I will do this last one, and I'm going to call time on this episode because I don't want it to go too long. And then who knows? And plus, honestly, I'm just really tired. I need to get some rest myself, and I don't want it for strangely. I don't always want to look at stocks, believe it or not. I guess I just don't want to look at them now. But we'll end with a one that I think everybody will love.
Oh, fun.
Fontana. Fontana. I love Fontana. One of my girls that asked everybody that's when we're talking about it, I was trying to show an example of how perception might influence companies. Um, and I asked the entire room, how you feel about Fontana? Everybody go, oh, I love Fontana. I was like, wow. I think it was about $8 at that time, $8 per
Oh,
share.
then there's a.
Yeah, it was back when we could go outside. It's
Miss
currently
those days. Miss those days.
$5.13 per share, with a PE ratio of 18.6 times. Um, However, I think I've heard a lot of talk about crowds in Fontana over the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're one of the companies that might be benefiting very directly,
Mm-hmm.
very very directly from Corona.
But my question is so So the idea is that the pharmacy sales and the supermarket type of thing they do might be seen
Mhm.
increase. But okay, so
I would say pharmacy, prescriptions, and yeah,
you think prescriptions of what exactly?
anything. But I know prescriptions is a huge part of the
Yeah,
business.
man. But are
Huge.
you expect a great increase because of corona from prescription items?
Ah, hmm.
Especially with the
Yeah,
doctors prescribing this, the doctors being out of office more, or just not getting the heavy inflow.
yeah. But the place pack. If everybody tell themselves Fontana pack, right?
Yeah, well, which side? Because there was a supermarket thing going on, and
Yeah.
every supermarket pack.
And
So
every
is
supermarket
it at the pharmacy
bag
itself?
tiny.
Is that the pharmacy pack?
I don't know. I think the pharmacists may have been packed. I've spoken to pharmacists and I've heard that they have had, and not just for Fontana. I just think in general there has been a lot more prescriptions being filled, and so
I know pharmacists are
you know.
complaining because they're essential workers, so they have to be
Hmm.
going out same way, and people aren't treating them as if they're essential workers.
What do you mean?
So like them can't skip the line because I want to go back to work. Like
Oh,
a doctor will get you on that. It's like government office,
oh,
tax office, go pay something, and you're a pharmacist, a doctor, or a nurse, so you get you. That type of
just the cough and clear, man.
thing.
Sorry, I can get a skip. I can get a skip.
Yeah, and then the security send you out and say, I call police, call thing there.
Siki not send you out. You think Siki risk him life? Siki comes. Siki. Siki. Wait, wow, hold on.
Coronavirus.
That's not funny. Oh, I'm not going to make any more Corona jokes. Uh, yeah, but I can understand how frustrating that must be. But I'm hoping, I'm hoping that they're seeing an uptick in business. Otherwise, and the truth is, everybody else in retail kind of lock, yeah. See, down to mothers lock now. Mothers who sell patties cheaper than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if they can, if their revenues up, the funny thing is, I think what happens is that I base a lot of the revenue up based on the things that people say on Twitter, which tends to be very Kingston leaning,
Mm-hmm.
and then would obviously be very that one store leaning. But we know Fontana is not just how one store
Mm-hmm.
is the whole heap of locations, 5 or 6 locations, right?
Yeah.
And if those 5 or 6 locations lockdown, but even if 4 of them lockdown are seeing lesser sales, but the big one is seeing more sales. That big one will really have to pump some heavy.
Have to carry the whole team.
Yeah, man, have to carry everybody, man. Everybody, right? Up to the 6 months, December 31st, 2.3 billion rev. Um, they ended last year with 3.7 billion rev, so that's a nice increase. They're close to it because the second quarter alone, which included Christmas, second quarter alone had 1.3 billion in revenue, which is almost half. Well, not no, but which is a good chunk, not almost half, but a good chunk of what they did for the entire year last year, and way ahead of what they had done in the same quarter. I think 300 and odd million ahead of what they did in the same quarter. Profit wise, the 6 months figure, they're at 213 million versus 174 at the same period last year. And when they had their year end last year, they were at 306 million. So that means in 6 months they make more than 2/3 of what they made in the entire year last year. Wow.
Yeah.
It could be set. They could be set for a great earnings surprise. I think they could be set for earnings surprise.
I would hope so.
I think I said it. I said it on an earlier episode that I actually took a stake in them.
Mm.
I mean, a baby stake, but still. When they'd fallen below $4, I thought this was good, but I still can't make them in my mind be worth more than $8. I can't see
Oh,
them
yeah,
being worth
same,
more than
same, same.
$8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a nice eight.
but
So
below four, yeah,
below
wow,
$4.
yeah, yeah. I'll take that 100%.
Okay. But
Yeah,
I think I'll do a bit more digging and find out where the crowd is because I'm not
that
necessarily
will be
convinced that pharmacy sales might. I don't know. What about Corona specifically will cause pharmacy sales to go up?
Everybody worried about them asthma. Them every cough get investigated and fixed quick and fast. Um, I don't know, but I know it seemed to be very because I've seen people saying, "Boy," and Fontana pack all the time on social media in the groups. People say it,
Agreed. I see that too.
IG, as people say, yeah. But again, it's usually, to be fair, I'm thinking it's usually the one location, the Waterloo location,
Mm-hmm.
which does not help necessarily with the group. But if I'm being optimistic, if I'm hoping right, and they are actually seeing an uptick in business or have seen an uptick in business between December and now, then that would be fantastic. It would be good to have a win from them.
I feel like you're going for a joke there.
What do
Fontana,
you mean?
fantastic. I
Oh
thought you were
God,
trying to do
no,
something
no,
with that.
no,
I was
no,
hoping
no,
not.
no, no, no corny jokes, no corny jokes. I think you
When
wanted to
since,
get that
when
corny
since,
joke
when since.
since a little coughing spell a while ago. But yeah, I like them, and I'm a shareholder now. As I say, below $4 was nice to me. It's good to see them in profit. It's good knowing that I can jump out in profit, and it's good knowing that they're probably going to have more good results to show the market.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in a couple of months, good results might be a very scarce thing, or not scarce, but I think that is celebrated. So a
Oh yeah,
company like
definitely.
Fontana, yeah, and the fact that people want to think that, you see, even me want to think that they're getting a lot from this. So them and MDS, everybody want them to be gaining from this so that they're a good
Yep.
pick. So
People been telling
and
me
people were
MDS, MDS, and
right.
I'm not sure I'm convinced yet.
What was nice was to see MDS say that they had to ration almost. It
Mhm.
seemed like a
Oh
ration
yes,
of
the
stuff they're
mass.
selling. Yeah, so that's good.
But yeah, but
That's good.
what about other items that themselves? For that stay.
What about the other items, man? Right now you can eat a food off Corona, eat a food.
Yeah, I agree. But then the issue for me is maybe that one thing making up for the loss in the other segments, and you know that go.
That is a good point. That is a good point. And I would expect that a shrewd set of business people, I think it's a mother and son team, um, they would adjust margins in order to compensate for anything like that. I know they do supply the government for some things, and at the end of the day, they are in the business of helping out people who are helping out people who are sick,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's some sort of stability in their overall universe
But
because
you know, I was thinking.
all corona is more reason for people to get sicker.
I was thinking about that too. You know, if people are realigning the way what they're looking for in companies, so is it that or people? Not for everybody, not for me even, but like,
Mhm.
are people saying, "Boy, I'll move away from a company"? Are they going to be buying companies that are more profitable in these times higher? Like to be
Mhm.
okay with increased multiples on certain things. Boy, like before now, I said I take a PE at 20 on certain companies, but because it's probably the best I can find, then I ask for a higher PE for it. You know, that type of thinking. Or boy, this company it won't be up or down, but it will maintain its stability. Then maybe I might be willing to buy that higher. And I was thinking about some stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just you alone and your talk like that.
Mm.
Literally, that sort of specificity, right? Yeah, it's just I don't know. That sound like just another version of my saying a dividend portfolio
Yeah.
and a dividend guide for Jamaica,
Mm.
And that's the sort of thing I want to see. That's the sort of thing that needs to come. Because as I said, there's no great company, there's no terrible company, there's just opportunities. I love when a company goes through hell because it means that when them fix it, them go into heaven. And I make money off the move into heaven.
Mm.
And yeah, it's a different way of thinking. It's a completely different way of thinking, I realize. Fontana. Um, I'm wondering, I don't want to do it and get drained. I think I'm going to wrap it here and I will see.
I'm already dying of hunger.
Me too. Me too. God
I was
no.
going to ask,
God
like,
no.
how do you do this not eating thing? But
Boy, when you say I eat when the work done, a lot of
oh
times I
yeah,
end up just eating one big meal a day at night.
not for saying food I forgot to say.
Intermittent fasting is alright. My body naturally love get fat
I
easily.
know I
So
lose weight for nothing.
Yeah.
Stop him.
Yeah, I wish I had that problem.
Couple weeks ago, and Alex could see me now.
Big up Alex Overlord. Man didn't even miss a beat. Corona come, the man just bring it online
Yep.
immediately. As I said that I feel bad, I think I am going to hit that weight rack tomorrow
She's right.
at my yard. No, I will. The weight rack outside. I will. I'll get a good night's sleep. And I hope if people are listening to this in the evening, I hope you are, then this will make sense. Good evening. And I hope you get a good night's sleep also.
Indeed,
I'm
indeed.
going to wrap this part here and we'll maybe give you a next part a little later on. Or maybe we'll put something else in the middle and come back because there are a whole heap of companies on the exchange. I think you guys deserve us with a little bit more energy and not when we're dead for hunger.
Yeah, not me dying for hunger. I've been trying to keep it
Right?
alive, but I'm sure you can hear it at this point.
Well, I hope it is. So we're going to call time on this one. This has been earning season. I'm Randy Rowe at RT Rowe on Twitter.
And I'm Danai at H.Danai on Twitter. Big up.
And it's been this week's earning season. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye, guys.
Listen, guys. Thanks for listening.
Come out, come see this.
Earning season, bro.